The world will not hand you greatness. It will throw storms at you and dare you to rise anyway. It will break your plans, shatter your hopes, and test your spirit. Not because it hates you, but because it must know if you are worthy of what you seek. There will be days when every step feels like a battle. Days when your dreams lie in pieces around you. Days when you stand alone doubting everything you ever believed about yourself. And it is in those days, not in the days of ease, that champions are born. Not because they are favored by fate, not because they are blessed with effortless talent, but because they possess a secret weapon the world cannot see. Unbreakable resilience. Resilience is not a word, it is not a theory, it is not an idea scribbled in notebooks or spoken in quiet conversations. It is a living, breathing force that rises within you when nothing else is left. It is the part of you that refuses to die, the part that roars back when life screams in your face to give up, the part that chooses to move forward when every logical voice says, stay down. Champions understand what most forget. Pain is not a sign to stop. It is a signal that you are building something eternal. Every scar, every heartbreak, every failure is a brick in the unbreakable fortress of your character. You are not born to surrender. You were not created to exist quietly within the cages built by other people's fears. You were born to rise again and again, until the world has no choice but to kneel before the strength you built in silence. But resilience is not given. It is not wished for. It is forged. Forged in the moments when the easy path beckons and you turn your back on it. Forged in the nights when fear suffocates you, but you still step forward into the dark. Forged in the failures that shatter your pride, but build your soul. Thomas Edison once said, "I have not failed, I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Most see failure as a tombstone. The resilient see it as a stepping stone. Every defeat is fuel. Every betrayal is a sharpening blade. Every heartbreak is a hammer blow that strengthens the steel of your will. You must stop asking for easier roads, stop praying for lighter loads, stop hoping for smoother seas. Instead, pray for a stronger back. Forge a deeper resolve. Anchor yourself in a purpose so fierce that no storm can uproot it. Because the truth is, greatness does not live on the smooth plains of comfort. It grows in the jagged mountains of adversity. You must climb those mountains. You must bleed on those rocks. You must rise with battered hands and broken feet and still dare to reach higher. It is easy to believe in yourself when the path is clear. It is noble to believe when the night falls and the map burns in your hands. That is the moment you either shrink or soar, and every champion you admire once stood at that moment broken, bleeding, questioning, afraid. But they chose to rise. And you must too. Not once, not twice, but every single day. Resilience is not an event. It is a lifestyle. It is not a moment of glory. It is thousands of small, brutal, thankless choices to keep going when everything inside you demands you quit. You must live inside that choice. You must become it. You must make resilience so much a part of your being that it becomes invisible, that others see only the force you carry and never comprehend the cost you paid to forge it. When you are tired, resilience moves your legs. When you are terrified, resilience steadies your hands. When you are broken, resilience whispers, "You are not finished yet." The world will test you, it must. It cannot hand its greatest treasures to the faint-hearted, and so it will strip you down. It will tear away your excuses, your fantasies, your illusions. It will confront you with your own weakness, not to destroy you, but to awaken the strength buried beneath your skin. You must welcome that process. You must embrace the hammer and the fire. You must learn to see adversity not as punishment, but as privilege. The privilege of being called to something greater than the average life. You are not average. You are not common. You are not here to merely survive. You are here to become unbreakable. And that journey begins not tomorrow, not next year, not when it's convenient, but now, right now. This breath, this choice, this moment. Every second you endure is a seed. Every setback you conquer is a step. Every ounce of suffering you transmute into strength is a weapon you carry into the future. There will be moments when no one sees your fight, when no one claps for your persistence, when no one understands the invisible wars you are winning inside your own soul. That is how you know you are on the right path, because true resilience does not announce itself. It builds in silence. It grows in darkness. It explodes into glory only when it is fully formed, unstoppable, undeniable, unbreakable. You must trust the process. Trust that every tear has a purpose. Trust that every scar has a meaning. Trust that every battle lost is secretly preparing you to win a greater war. Resilience is patient. It does not demand immediate rewards. It knows that the longer the storm, the stronger the roots. And so must you know it too. Plant yourself deeper when the winds rise. Stand taller when the rains fall. Shine brighter when the darkness thickens. Because resilience is not about weathering the storm, it is about becoming the storm. The one who cannot be moved. The one who cannot be broken. The one who changes the landscape itself simply by refusing to yield. You were born with everything you need to become that force, but it must be awakened, sharpened, forged, and that forging happens not when you are at your best, but when you're at your worst and you keep moving forward anyway. That is the cost of greatness, and it is a price worth paying. Because one day when you stand at the summit of the impossible, when you look back over the valleys of hardship and heartbreak you crossed, you will not remember the pain. You will only remember that you endured, that you rose, that you conquered, that you became against every odd the weapon life could not break. That is resilience, and it is yours to claim. Right here, right now. Choose it. Rise. Become unbreakable. There is a power sleeping inside you right now. A force so immense that if you could glimpse even a fraction of it, your doubts would disintegrate like smoke in the wind. It is not hidden in some distant land. It is not locked away beyond your reach. It lives in the marrow of your bones, in the quiet pulse of your heart, in the relentless beat of your spirit. But power unused decays. Potential unexplored atrophies. The champions, the builders, the visionaries, they were not born with more power than you. They simply learned to awaken it, to feed it, to fan it into a flame so bright that even the darkest nights could not extinguish it. And how did they awaken it? Through resilience. Through endless repetition of one sacred choice: I will not quit. When the world said no, they moved anyway. When fear howled in their ears, they sang louder. When failure wrapped itself around their feet like chains, they broke free with the force of unbreakable will. Resilience was not an accessory to their greatness. It was the foundation of it. Henry Ford was ridiculed, sued, sabotaged, yet he built an empire that changed the world. Nelson Mandela was caged for decades, yet he broke his chains and led a revolution of spirit. Walt Disney was fired, rejected, bankrupt, yet he painted a new reality across the imagination of mankind. Their stories were not straight lines to glory. They were mountains climbed through storms so fierce most would have turned back at the first blow. But they did not turn back, and neither must you. Because the world is not kind to those who dare to dream beyond the walls of convention. It will laugh at you. It will doubt you. It will resist you. Good. Let it. The world's resistance is the wind you will ride to heights they cannot imagine. Every whisper that says you are not enough is simply another weight you will lift until you become strong enough to carry anything. Every door slammed in your face is simply another wall. You will climb until the world must build taller walls and still fail to contain you. You are not here to be contained. You are here to overflow. Overflow with spirit. Overflow with strength. Overflow with unstoppable resilience. You must anchor yourself in something greater than comfort, greater than applause, greater even than success. You must anchor yourself in purpose, because purpose makes resilience possible. Purpose transforms pain from a meaningless torture into a sacred training ground. When your why is bigger than your suffering, no suffering can stop you. When your vision is more vivid than your fear, no fear can freeze you. When your destiny burns hotter than your doubts, no doubt can destroy you. You must decide what you stand for. You must carve your why into stone, so that when the storms come, and they will come, you are not moved. Purpose fuels resilience. Resilience fuels destiny. They are woven together like blood through your veins. You cannot seek greatness without suffering. You cannot seek mastery without sacrifice. You cannot seek a life of impact without being willing to withstand a life of challenge. And every challenge is a gate that leads either to your defeat or your transformation. Those gates are not punishments. They are invitations. Invitations to rise higher than you ever have before. When life brings you to your knees, it is not to crush you. It is to show you that you carry the strength to stand taller than you ever thought possible. But you must rise, and rise again and again and again, until rising becomes your nature. Until standing in the face of storms becomes as natural to you as breathing. Until endurance becomes not something you do, but something you are. The world will try to define you by your defeats. Refuse. Define yourself by your resilience. They will try to define you by your failures. Refuse. Define yourself by the strength you found after every failure. They will try to define you by your past. Refuse. Define yourself by the future you are building. Step by painful, glorious step. You are the sculptor of your soul. You are the architect of your spirit. You are the warrior chosen for this exact battlefield. Nothing has been wasted, no pain, no heartbreak, no betrayal. Every wound has been a forge. Every fall has been a lesson. Every scar has been a map, guiding you home. Home to the warrior you were born to be. And that warrior is not fragile. That warrior is not easily shaken. That warrior is carved from the bedrock of resilience itself. You must stop apologizing for the strength your journey has required. You must stop hiding the fire that pain has built in your bones. Because one day the very storms that tried to bury you will be the stories you tell as proof that you could not be broken. One day, the very suffering that nearly silenced you will be the symphony that announces your arrival to the world. But only if you endure. Only if you choose to rise again and again and again. Until rising is no longer a decision but a destiny. You are not your mistakes. You are not your failures. You are not your darkest days. You are the one who survived them. You are the one who transcended them. You are the one who is still standing still, breathing, still fighting. And that makes you unstoppable. You are more powerful than you have ever been told, more capable than you have ever believed, more resilient than you have ever allowed yourself to imagine. But now is the time to stop imagining. Now is the time to embody it, to live it, to breathe it with every cell in your body. Because resilience is not something you occasionally visit. It is the house you must build and live inside forever. A house made of grit, of fire, of undying belief. Belief that no matter how many times the world knocks you down, you will always rise higher. Belief that no matter how many times you are overlooked, you will still create a life that cannot be ignored. Belief that no matter how deep the pit, your spirit will climb out and build an empire from the ashes. That is the power you carry. That is the secret weapon of every champion. And it is already inside you, waiting, burning, demanding to be awakened. So awaken it. Answer the call. Stand up, battered, bruised, but unbroken, and become the force the world cannot contain. Become unbreakable. The greatest battles you will ever fight will not be against rivals. They will not be against circumstances. They will not be against time or luck or even failure itself. The greatest battles are fought deep within you in the hidden chambers of your mind where fear whispers and doubt conspires. It is there in that sacred and savage place that resilience is either forged or forgotten. And you must become a master of that battlefield. Because no external obstacle can defeat you unless you have already been defeated within. It begins with the way you think when no one is listening. It begins with the way you speak to yourself when no one else is speaking. It begins with the silent choices you make in the darkness before the world ever sees the light of your success. Your mindset is your shield. Your belief is your sword. Your resilience is the force that swings them both when the day grows long and the night grows cruel. You must train your mind to see adversity as an ally. You must teach your spirit to interpret hardship as evidence that you are moving forward, not falling behind. Because growth and comfort cannot coexist. Because expansion demands resistance. Because the very obstacles you pray would disappear are the training grounds for the life you secretly long to live. You must learn to smile at the storm. You must learn to welcome the struggle like an old friend. You must learn to rise in the morning, not hoping the day will be easy, but knowing that whatever it brings you will be stronger still. Most people spend their lives avoiding pain, avoiding discomfort, avoiding the sharpening that life offers them through challenge. And because they avoid, they shrink. Because they avoid, they grow brittle. Because they avoid, they forget how powerful they truly are. You must not avoid, you must lean in, because the fire that melts the weak hardens the strong, because the wind that blows out a candle fuels a wildfire, because the pressure that crushes coal transforms it into diamonds. You're not here to be soft. You are not here to be sheltered. You are not here to live a life of smallness wrapped in fear, draped in regret. You are here to be forged into something eternal. You are here to become a living testament to the power of human spirit. You are here to become unbreakable. Not because you were never broken, but because every time you broke, you built yourself stronger. You must reframe your pain. Not as punishment, but as purification. Not as a curse, but as a calling. Not as a barrier, but as a bridge. The universe will not clear the way for you because you desire it. It will clear the way because you demanded it. With every step you refused to stop taking, it will yield to your resilience. It will bow to your persistence. It will honor the spirit that refuses to die. Every champion you admire has suffered. Every giant you revere has bled. Every leader you follow has been brought to their knees. What separates them is not the avoidance of pain. It is the mastery of it. They learned to bleed with purpose. They learned to fall with grace. They learned to rise with fury. And so must you. You must become so deeply rooted in your vision and your purpose that nothing external can uproot you. You must carry a fire inside you so fierce that no storm can drown it. You must walk through the valleys of defeat and despair with your eyes still locked on the mountains you were born to climb. Because if you endure long enough, if you persist fiercely enough, if you believe stubbornly enough, there comes a day when the tide turns. There comes a day when the world stops asking if you're good enough and starts asking how you became unstoppable. There comes a day when the doors that once slammed in your face are torn from their hinges by the force of your unrelenting spirit. There comes a day when the scars on your soul become the crown on your head, but only if you refuse to quit. Only if you refuse to accept anything less than the destiny that calls you forward. Only if you become resilience itself, not a person who is sometimes resilient, but a soul that embodies resilience in every thought, every breath, every action. It must live in you. It must radiate from you. It must define you. Because resilience is not something you visit when life is hard. It is the home you live in, the air you breathe, the pulse that drives you forward. When logic says, stop, you are not logical. You are not average. You are not here to live inside the cages of other people's expectations. You are here to shatter every wall built to contain you. You are here to redefine what is possible through the sheer force of your endurance. You are here to light the night sky with the fire of a spirit that refuses to be extinguished. You are here to prove not to them, but to yourself, that no storm, no betrayal, no failure, no heartbreak will ever be stronger than the will you have forged through 1,000 invisible battles. You must fall in love with the climb. You must fall in love with the days when the summit is hidden and the winds tear at your skin, because it is on those days that your soul is growing wings. You must fall in love with the struggle, because it is through struggle that you are sculpting a future no one else can see yet. You must fall in love with becoming, because you are not who you were, and you are not yet who you will be. You are a work in relentless, unstoppable progress, and every setback you survive, every tear you shed, every dream you refuse to abandon, is building something inside you that no power on earth can touch. Resilience is not optional. It is essential. It is not a footnote in your story. It is the ink that will write every victorious page. You must carry it like a banner into every battle. You must wear it like armor into every storm. You must weave it into your breath, your blood, your bones, until it is no longer something you have to think about, but something you simply are. The world needs that version of you. The future demands that version of you. Your destiny depends on that version of you. The version of you that will not bow, will not break, will not back down. No matter how fierce the storm, no matter how long the night, no matter how heavy the burden, that version of you is waiting, calling, burning. Will you answer? Will you rise? Will you become unbreakable? Because if you do, if you dare to endure when others fold, if you dare to stand when others fall, if you dare to keep climbing, when the summit disappears into the mist, then nothing will be able to stop you. Not the world, not the fear, not even time itself. Because resilience, true unbreakable resilience, is timeless. And the legacy you build with it will echo long after your final breath. So breathe deeply, clench your fists, lift your eyes to the horizon, and move. Move like the storm is yours to command. Move like the mountains were made for you to climb. Move like the world is simply waiting for you to decide you are ready. Because it is, and you are. Now rise and become unbreakable.